imagine going to sleep on your bed and waking up on a boat. What are the first questions you're going to ask those around you? How did I get here? What am I doing here? Where am I going? These are important questions to ask because you have been thrown onto the boat. The boat is moving forward and you want to know where is it going. Your curiosity in this regard is valid. Now consider this. You have been thrown into life. Now how did you get here? What are you doing here and where are you going? You are a child of your mother. She is a child of her mother. There cannot be an infinite regress of parents. Otherwise, there would be no children. Humans, like animals, came from earth. All life came from the earth. The earth is a part of the universe. And the universe had a beginning. Even if the universe did not have a beginning, it must have been dependent on something. But there cannot be an infinite regress of dependent things. Otherwise, everything would depend on something else. An infinite number of dominoes all falling on one another. Imagine a castle. A castle cannot float on thin air, right? If you saw a castle, you would assume it had a foundation. Existence is like the castle. It needs a foundation. Imagine looking at a sea. You see water in the distance. You know it is being supported by the sea floor. You haven't seen the sea floor, but you know it exists. Unlike the base of the castle or the floor of the sea, the ultimate foundation of all reality cannot be dependent. Dependent things like castle bases and sea floors only exist because something else causes and sustains them. Therefore, there is a requirement for an external, uncaused first cause. I am repeating, eternal, uncaused first cause. A beginner of everything that exists, one which had no beginning in itself, an entity which all things depend on, which is itself not dependent. This is the only way to explain the existence of anything. You were ultimately caused by this independent and eternal entity. This independent thing could not be the universe itself. Things that are made up of parts which can be broken up are dependent. The universe is made up of parts. Therefore, the universe is dependent. You may be watching this video on a mobile or a laptop. Consider the following. Your device is not exploding. Why do you take this proposition for granted? Many things need to be in place in order for your device to not explode. The first and most important is the uniformity of nature. Nature must act in the same way in the present as it has been in the past in order for us to predict anything scientific or even do science. Nature needs to be stable. Water boils at 100 degrees. This was the case yesterday, it is the case today, and it will be the case tomorrow. Imagine a world where water boils at 100 degrees yesterday, 1 degree today, and 1000 degrees tomorrow. Could any science be done in such a world? Why is the universe not blowing up? Why is it staying stable and regulated? What is the explanation for this? Do laws of nature exist in the universe without a lawmaker? Not only is there a uniformity in nature, But the universe is organized to the extent that it continues to exist and allows life to exist within it. Had the parameters of the universe been much different to the way they are, no life would exist in this universe. To understand the precision of parameters in this universe, you can watch the video by clicking on the I button. Now, imagine I have a bag of letters, alphabets, right? And I unload the letters out of the bag and they organize themselves into Shakespeare's Macbeth. What are the chances that this could happen without intelligent direction? If the independent lawmaker we have mentioned is responsible for this, then the independent one must have knowledge and will. The universe is one way and not another. This is evidence that there was a choice that was made on how the universe should be. Thus, the first cause must have will. There are laws of nature. The first cause is ultimately responsible for them being in place, since without the first cause, nothing would exist. So now you know where you came from. You came from the independent first cause who initiated everything and who is the ultimately responsible for all things that exist. You did not come from nothing because that is impossible. You did not create yourself because that is also impossible. There was no infinite regress of created or dependent things because that too is impossible. Okay, so what is the next question? Where are you going? Okay, you are thrown into life and where are you going? Let me tell you, you are going to die. But what happens after that? When you lose consciousness, you have dreams. You may be asleep, but you still experience a reality in your unconscious state. If this is the case, why do we assume that all realities will end when consciousness is ultimately lost? There can never be scientific evidence that disproves the continuation of experience when consciousness is lost. In fact, all evidence points to the opposite. One thing is for sure though, you will die. Okay, so what is the next question? What are you doing here? You should be doing what everything else in nature is forced to do, which means comply with the rules of nature. Unlike everything else in the creation, you have a choice of whether to do so or not. What is the next question that you will have? How do you comply with the rules of nature? You must first know what they are and be given evidence that they are from the independent first cause who brought you into existence. The first cause can only be one. It is the responsibility of the independent first cause to tell you what he wants from you in this life, how you should comply with his rules of nature. And one more thing, the first cause can only be one. The first cause must be independent and self-sufficient. This would negate the existence of two independents. Trinitarian and polytheistic notions are therefore invalid because they assume the existence of more than one independent. In the Trinity, the Father is the Almighty, the Son is the Almighty, and the Holy Spirit is the Almighty. Yet, there are not three Almighties. The faulty theory goes, but one Almighty. This is logically and linguistically impossible and contradictory. By definition, there cannot be many Almighties. For the same reason, there cannot be more than one ultimate cause or creator. There cannot be more than one ultimate will. Otherwise, there would be cosmic chaos and no organization. What if these Almighties compromise? If they do, it means that they are weak and not almighty, Because an almighty entity does not need compromise. So there can only be one creator, one independent cause which is uncaused.